How's it going, everyone? This is Chris Knighton here with another episode of the Knighton Runs podcast. On today's show, I wanted to talk a little bit about the different phases of marathon training and why the month of June and the summer is really one of the best times to work on improving your speed. So, in my new book, Run Faster Marathons: The Proven Path to PR, the middle section is all about the 6 different phases of marathon training. And the basic premise is as you get closer and closer to your goal race, your goal marathon, you want to start doing workouts that are more and more specific to what that race is actually going to entail. And this applies whether you're training for a 5K and that's your focus, or you're training for a marathon. But here we'll talk about the marathon, since that's what most of my athletes and listeners train for. So the faster you get at the shorter distances, the faster you're going to be at the marathon as well. And right now it's the summer. It's the month of June as I record this. Most passionate marathoners are probably looking at a race in October, maybe November, maybe September. And right now, you might be a little lost with what to do. You're still 3 or 4 or 5 months away from your big goal race. What should you be doing right now with your training? And yes, you could just base build, you could grow your mileage and increase that. And in fact, if you don't think you're actually running enough mileage to run a great marathon, that's what I would recommend you focus on. But if adding more mileage right now isn't really something you want to be focusing on, or your marathon's far enough away where you can build your mileage safely as training progresses, the thing that you're going to want to focus on now in the summer, in the month of June, is getting as fast as you can. Within the Knight and Lions community, the athletes who I coach one on one, many of us are doing a June summer speed challenge. And it's a series of workouts that last about 5 weeks that are all designed to get you faster with the end goal of running either your fastest mile at the end or going out and running a 5K. And this is something that all marathoners, I think, should be doing at this time. Distance training, whether you're training for a 1 mile race or marathon, is probably about 90% the same. The only real difference is the emphasis you place on the long run and the actual makeup of some of your workouts. So if you get faster at the 1 mile, if you get faster at the 5K, you're in turn going to get faster at the marathon. So if you spend this month mixing it up, you don't need to be doing long runs right now. Your long run can be much shorter than what it would be deep in a marathon training cycle. And instead of doing longer tempo efforts, marathon paced efforts, and the like, you could be doing things like short and fast track workouts, things like 8 by 200 meters at 1 mile race pace. Or you could do something like a fartlek, 10 times 1 minute fast, 1 minute slow. These types of workouts are going to be a lot of fun. They're going to be very different than what you're probably doing in marathon training. And they're going to get you a lot faster. Once you have that speed, you can go race a mile, you can go race a 5K, have a lot of fun having focused on a very different type of event. Then, as you get deeper into the summer and closer to the fall, closer to your fall marathon, you can start to transition some of the speed work that you've been doing into those longer marathon specific type of workouts. So, in the final 2 months or 3 months before your marathon, you can transition to the tempo runs, to the marathon pace runs, to the very long runs. But until then, focus on getting faster now so that when you also need to go long, you can do it faster. That's my lesson for today. A little bit about the 6 phases of marathon training and why you should be doing speed work here in the month of June and in the summer. Hope this episode was helpful for you. If it was, then I'd appreciate it if you would give an honest review for this podcast on your listening player of choice. And if you'd like a little help with your training in the second half of 2020, check out the Night and Runs training group that I have on Patreon. Go to patreon.com/nightandruns. You'll be able to join for under $20 a month and be able to download intermediate, beginner, and advanced training plans that I've created for all the distances from 5K, 10K, half, and marathon, as well as get access to a whole bunch of other resources I have, like a digital copy of my new book, strength and mobility guides, and you'll be able to join our community of like-minded runners to get support and connect with us during your training. And it's a great way to get support for your training without necessarily taking the full jump into one-on-one personal coaching. So if you're interested in checking that out, just go to patreon.com/nightandruns, and I'll catch you on the next episode. Bye.